Hey, welcome back, everybody. We just got done with, I want to say it's the second or the third event of the BSF season. We had the BSF Rosemont with both singles and teams for standard format. I played the same deck both days. I played Overlord. Before we get into the profile, I do want to talk about how the day went. I also want to shout out everyone that came and said hi. That was really cool. And also all the opponents I met, the other people I met. Everyone was super chill and super nice. Big shout out to uh, Outer Orange from day two on round three. We our teams had a really fun game and it was really cool. And also a big shout out to my round five opponent on day one. Obviously, we had a good game, and I'm going to talk about that more. But on day two, he like hunted me down because I was missing one foil copy of. If I can pull him out real quick. Oop, I was missing one foil copy of Tar, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. And I opened a couple decks and I couldn't pull it. But he like pulled one out and he like hunted me down. Was like, hey, 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 I pulled it for you. And I was like, ah, perfect. We're getting the trade started. So I was able to get this deck fully foiled out. I even pulled from the vendors. I even pulled one of the 15th SPs, which I was really happy about. But yeah, one thing I want to say before we go into all the matchups is they did something really cool this year, and like somebody let me know if they've done this before because I've never seen it at a Rosemont event. They had their own like Bushiroad shop as a vendor, which I've just never seen before. Like you could buy like sleeves, you could buy playmats. Like that's where I got this playmat. My buddy Carlos, big shout out to Carlos, got me these 15th anniversary sleeves. Uh, like you could get, you got sleeves, you could get deck boxes, play mats, you could buy some like whatever product they had, which was the 15th anniversary decks, Divine Set 1, I think Divine Set 11 too. But like it was really cool. I think they should do that more often. And if they do it at other events and I'm not aware of it, let me know that in the comments. But I want to go on to what happened that day. So day one, I went 4-3, which wasn't the exactly the results I was looking for. But a couple of them were kind of just. I don't want to say super luck based because I don't feel like they were like. It wasn't like over trigger like screwed me out of the game or anything. It was just my opponents had a little more luck than I did, and I had a little more bad luck because I feel like both players were making the correct choices that we could. So round one, I lost to Deep Lands, and I needed one of two things needed not to happen on their last turn. Mind you, I did double Persona, flip two crits. Like I did put him in a really bad spot. So like I understand, I understand. I did a little sacking that first game, but he used the Deep Lands grade two to stop me from intercepting with Beliagro in the back row, which I had called from discarding for ride, and I, that was fine. That was perfectly fine as long as he didn't hit a crit on the very last drive check of his skeleton grade three. He did flip the crit. Nothing you can really do there. But we uh, we just had to kind of accept that and move on. So round two, I lost to Yotsuba. I have never played against Yotsuba before. I have played Yotsuba against one of my buddies for the whole Exodia Obliterate thing, but I've never actually like owned the deck or had anyone play it against me. So it was a new experience. He had all seven of the names, like the different names that he needed by turn three, which is if you've ever tried one of the quintessential quintuplet decks, that's insane. That's like a really good thing. So, it is what it is. I couldn't beat that. Round three, I played against an Ichikon player and I won. And we had a really good time. The guy had just come back from Japan, I believe he said, and was living back in the States again, which is really cool. Round four, I played against Blangdemeyer, and the big thing that saved me during Blangdemeyer was I took his Vanguard attack. He didn't flip any extra crits, but I hit a defensive crit and a defensive heal, and the heal did go off. So I was able to just kind of take his uh, Vade Rock Dragon attack and then just kind of chump block the Zamoog that he had been powering up, which wasn't too bad. Round five was against the Aichi-Kan deck, and this is the guy that got me the Tar critical trigger. I lost against him, and I feel like it was mostly because I just kept damage checking perfect guards, which I would have liked to have them early game. But there's not much I can really do about that. We had a really good like back and forth overall, so I'm not like upset about that one. Round six, my opponent had to leave because someone in his party was like ready to head out. So I got the win there, but I'm hoping I added them recently, so I'm hoping we can hash out a game online to kind of make up for it. And round seven of day one, this was the last round I played. I won against Heart Lulu because Drag Veda is like the most broken card ever printed. I shouldn't say it's the most broken, but it's a pretty darn good card, right? So that was it for day one. Uh, Overall, not I wasn't super happy about the score because I did want to get into Top Cut this time, similar to other people. But I did have a really fun time, so I can't bash on it too much. Day two, I'll this one will be a little different. So I'm gonna say we'll do my personal wins and then we'll do my team wins. So for round one, I had a personal win against Prison and our team won too. I was not expecting to beat Prison because if I don't talk about it enough, I just don't like Prison. I hate that deck so much. And he hit Elder Breath on me, which is another card I hate. So I was not looking for I was not looking forward to it, but I managed to squeeze that game out. Uh, Round two was a personal win against Odium, but the team did lose, which was unfortunate. Basically, I won the die roll, and that put him off to a bad start, and then him having to damage check a distorted Bane and use it for a counterblast, and then soul charge a distorted Bane off of another distorted Bane. It was just really painful for him, so he couldn't divine skill me, which if you can't divine skill as soon as you can, it's very rough to be an Odium player. Round three, this was against Outer Origins team. This was the only game today that I personally dropped at all, so I lost to Liel Draconis, uh, and our team lost to. They're really cool people. We had a good time. I was not expecting to lose to Draconis of all things, and I don't want to say that it was like over trigger based because he did hit the over trigger on me and like it was the yellow T, so he wiped my board, he drew cards, stuff like that. Um, I wouldn't say it was OT based. I think it was more based on the fact that I was just not drawing any triggers to defend myself with. Like I had a perfect guard, but like he watched me like guard with like 15k shield with three cards. There's nothing much you can do about that. I'm not mad about it. We had a great game, a good back and forth. I hope I get to see him next time we go out. Round four was against Bear Crea. I was able to win the game, and the team managed to lose the game, which it's not a big deal again. Uh, so that game was really fun because the name of our team was Dark Souls 2 is a baddie. Because two of us really like Dark Souls 2, and one of the teammates just didn't care about the Souls game, so he was like, "Yeah, make the team whatever name you guys want, right?" So when my opponent saw our team's name, he was like, "You like Dark Souls 2?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir. That's my stuff." And we were just talking, like we spent most of the match just like because both of us had like top searches and stuff. We were just talking about Dark Souls 2 like the entire time and like a little bit of why he didn't like Dark Souls 3 and stuff like that. Round 5, I had to play against Prison again, which we got a personal win against Prison, but the team did lose. Uh, the thing with the the Prison game was by the time that I got by the time he got to grade 3, because I had been pushing him so hard, like I opened like Gojo, Beliagro, Like I opened the whole like rush package. He guarded so much that by the time he hit grade three, he had a card to discard for ride and a card in hand. So he was not doing great, like in terms of hand size. So it was a very rough game for him. So I kind of understand, you know, why that happened. Round six, I got to play against the Yotsuba player from day one again, and I managed to win the game and get revenge, and the team managed to win the game too. So we got a team win, which was really cool. I had really the guy was really cool. We had a good time chilling. Um, I was not expecting to win that game because I feel like Yotsuba is a really strong like deck for most things. I think I have the advantage because Nahalem can pay for my counter blasts from the drop, which is kind of nice. But the damage denial is very scary, and I think that was a really good pick that he did. And round seven of teams, the last one, I won against Magnolia Patriarch, and the team lost the last round, which was fine. So the thing about the our game wasn't so much that like, well, I did aggress a little hard. You know, I had the belly aggros. I had the go. Like I think my first turn, like because I went first, my first turn was Gojo to field, draw, drop another Gojo, Gojo to field, draw, drop, and then call out belly aggro. Um, it was a really strong opener, but I think the big thing that really hurt my opponent was she really didn't see that many like triggers or defensive cards to really defend from multiple attacks. So the double persona ride did hurt a lot when we got to it because she was already at like 4 or 5 damage by the time I got there. Well, not much she could do there, and I totally understand it. But we had a really good time. Had a good game. Everything was a vibe. And yeah. And then once again, before we go into the profile, everyone was super cool. I had a great time. Big shout out to my boys that came with me for the entire weekend. It was great to have them there. We always have a good time when we hang out together. So having them on a team or just being able to talk with them in between rounds for singles was just it was great. I couldn't ask for anything more. And we are going to go to the deck profile and just give me one quick second because I do need to pull up a name so I can give a shout out to somebody. Uh, Let me just there we go. Okay, so let's go onto the profile real quick. We'll get to the shout out when we get to the card. So we have the ride line, and the ride line, obviously, you don't change it. We have the Conroe, we have the freshly pulled Bar, we have the Nahalem, and we have the Dragonic Overlord, as you should have. One of the cool things about a lot of the cards in this deck is I have actually personally, besides like a couple of the generics, I have personally pulled every card from this deck, so it feels extra special to me, and that one tar that the guy traded me feels like double special because he really helped me out there. Three copies of the Persona Ride because we are leaning into the double Persona Ride build. And my Regalis piece, I chose Fire Regalis. I feel like this is a really important Regalis piece for this deck. There were a couple situations I wish this was twin cast, but it was never like anything I was like going to cry about. I think Fire Regalis did good because it helped me do a little more deck thinning so I could start flipping more triggers. And lastly, we have the two copies of Vortex Dragon. I believe in my original version I was playing three, but a lot of the times the third one normally ended up messing me up, so I cut it down to just two copies, and that worked out perfectly fine. Uh, On to the grade twos. So we've got uh, one of the most important ones, which is Berserk Dragon, because he on play is a 15k attacker, which is really cool. Uh, yeah, he did a lot of heavy carrying to over the weekend. He was just hitting like a truck for no reason, and it did make a lot of the games go a lot smoother. We have two copies of Nahalem. So I was originally playing three, uh, but I decided to cut one copy to try out a tech card, which again, when we get to the shout out, we'll get to the shout out. But I do want to say, I feel like maybe I could have kept the third copy and either cut that tech card or cut something else. I'm not quite sure. Uh, I still have to keep testing it, but the tech card came up only like twice in the whole event, which that's not bad. It came up, which is really important. But there were a couple games, like especially against the Yotsuba, where I was like, I need that extra counterblast. Like I need it real bad. We have four copies of another really important grade two, which is Bellicossi Dragon. Pot of Greed on legs gets 10k power because your Vanguard's gonna swing twice. It's amazing. And four Belly Aggro. If you don't have this card, like, I hope you can find a way to get it cheap because this card is just amazing in this deck. It is such a good addition to the deck. Uh, Also, it's good for other Dragon Empire decks, but yeah, that's just the grade twos. I feel like that's a very straightforward ride line or like grade two lineup, except for maybe like the two Nehalms. But on to the grade ones. I did decide to do the Gojo package, and of course I put Jaren in. So I didn't talk about Gojo in the last one, so I'll do a quick description of what he does. When you discard him for ride, you can call him back to the field as a rest, or you can Soul Blast one to call him back to the field as a stand. And then when he's played, you draw a card and drop a card from your hand, which means if you draw more of these, or you draw Belly Aggro, you just have a free discard, which is really nice. Um, so the reason I decided to hop on this when I said I wasn't really a big fan of it, like going into the current meta, is I had this idea where I was like, realistically, there are going to be Ichikons there, but I don't think there's going to be a lot because the deck has a very high wallet like impact. Like a lot of people do not want to spend $300 on, or sorry, 360 on the Nebula Knight order. A lot of people don't want to spend however much Ganslot is right now or Saragon. So I felt like there might be a lot of price gauging like out of it, so people might lean on like Deep Lands because Deep Lands was a lot cheaper, like for the recent bit, or like Odium, stuff like that. So I felt like it was good to include Gojo back into the deck, and I only played against like two Ichikons. Or three Ichi. No, it was two. I only played against two Ichikons the whole weekend, so it did end up working out in my favor. Um, I played four copies of Perfect Guards, one Sanctitude, of course, and four Bari. Not a lot to say about that. We have the three copies of Scarlet Flame. I think three is the good number. You don't need any more than that. And the last card, the tech. This is Whirlwind Dragon. I saw this from, I think Colin So. If I mispronounced your name, I really do apologize. Uh, but I saw it on Twitter when I was scrolling through, uh, and I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense because you can just kind of like, if you're going against the Ichikon deck, you can uh, like retire Conroe if you're going second to grab this, so you can start pushing them right away. And if they Blaster Blade this away, you can Energy Blast 3 while it's in your drop zone to grab a card you discarded back. So either for Ride, for Gojo, for Scarlet Flame. So I wanted to try it out. I think it was a good tech overall. Not like I think going forward, I'm not sure if I was to play in a tournament where I was like guaranteed to play against Ichikon decks, I would not cut it. But if I were to run the same event again, like the exact same matchups I had over the weekend, this might be a card I just cut to go back to Nahalem. But I'm not like I would have to test it a little more because this did come up in two games, which was really important. It came up in the Blankdemeyer game because it just got me shield back to hand, and it came up for one of the Aichi Icon decks, one for the rushing purpose, and two for the fact that I could discard a critical trigger because the rest of my hand was like triggers. I could discard that to activate double persona, and then I could blast 3 to get it back. Uh, so this was a decent card overall. I just don't know if I would keep it with the knowledge I have from this event. But I did like that it did help me out in matches, so I can't like complain about it too much. The trigger count and contents did not change at all. Drag Veda still broken. The 4 Tar, the 4 Rakshasa, the 3 Parama, and the 4 Gojo. Not a lot to say about it. Maybe we can spread that out a little more. Not a lot to say about the trigger. I feel like this is the lineup that you want to have. Obviously, Gojo can be replaced with the restand heals, which I pulled. I pulled the Mirai heal, uh, which does the restanding thing. So maybe I'll slot a copy of it in now that I have it. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, this was just the best trigger lineup you could ask for. Draws aren't important. The soul fronts aren't important. And yeah, that is it for the little recap from the weekend. I had a great time with everyone. I do want to. Wow, I put that backwards. I do want to give you guys a heads up because some people were asking for a couple of different profiles. Those are going to slowly come out. I had to borrow a buddy's deck, but they are going to come out, and I hope you look forward to them. And those will be back on our regular schedule on Wednesday. So I will see you guys then, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.